Okay, Dan, I'm definitely suffering from a little bit of sticker shock here. Going to have to talk to me more about the cost. Why does this seem so expensive?
Well, Joe, when you look at the total cost of ownership with our speeded deployment, our improved systems management, and our reduced software licenses required, we provide a better return on investment than previous generation IBM systems and comparable competitive solutions. Now, for example, we can deploy twice the application density in the same amount of floor space and reduce your energy costs by up to 40%. The better performance, the simplified management, and the increased virtual machine density can reduce your software licensing costs by up to 70% with fewer cores needed than previous generation systems. We can also reduce your time to provision from days to minutes with IBM's built-in patterns of expertise and virtualization capabilities.
You're making some good points here. And I can tell you that whenever you talk about software licensing costs, you get my attention very, very quickly. Okay, what's the next step here?
Mileage varies for every client, Joe, so why don't we schedule a business assessment with our Lineant tool and show you where your cost savings are. Let's take a look at the calendars.
This sounds like it has to be proprietary. I've got some concerns about integrating it into my existing environment. The complexity, I don't know, it just sounds like lock-in to me.
You know, IBM PureFlex system is an open choice platform, and our advanced scale-in systems networking are open and interoperable with your existing 1 gig, 10 gig, and 40 gig networking infrastructures. And we support Cisco, Juniper, Brocade, along with other vendors.
Okay, that's networking, that's good. But now, just basics. What architecture are we talking about? Is this x86? Talk to me about hypervisors. That's very important to me.
Again, we provide you choice. We have a choice of architectures, IBM Power 7 or Intel x86 processors operating together within the same chassis. You have a choice of OS, AIX, IBM i, Microsoft Windows, and Linux from Red Hat or SUSE. You have a choice of hypervisors, Power VM, KVM, VMware, or Microsoft Hyper-V.
Now go to storage, because I think you've got storage involved here. And how would your storage integrate into my existing storage infrastructure?
Again, good news. We're the only offering that supports virtualization of both IBM storage and other storage vendors so that we can integrate management of all your storage through a single point of control. Simplifying the management of all these physical and virtual resources across servers, storage, and networking from a single point of control through Flex Systems Manager can reduce your management costs by up to 53%.
I've heard about this FSM, Flex Systems Manager, and I've got some guys that are very interested in seeing that up close and in person. Can we make that happen?
Sure, we can schedule a demo right now. Why don't we take a look at the calendars and figure out when we can do that.
I'm sure you have heard this concern before, and that is I don't have the resources right now to bring this in, much less the expertise to put it in my environment here or to learn about ongoing operations.
Joe, you're right. I have heard that before. But the truth is, the PureFlex solution is factory integrated, and it's optimized to speed deployment times, and IBM services can work with your staff to get your system into production quickly. The included Flex System Manager is designed to provide you with up to 66% reduction in management setup time, and it can cut your storage provisioning time by up to 98%. Utilizing these patterns of expertise can accelerate any cloud implementation, lower your risk, and improve your security by reducing human error.
So kick it up to a higher level. What's the impact on the overall business?
Sure. By improving administrator productivity by up to 50%, we free up time for your IT staff to focus on innovation and other business priorities such as bringing on new applications.
It does seem like everything revolves around this Flex System Manager. So given that, what's the next step? How do I learn more?
Well, why don't we schedule a live demo? Let's take a look at your calendar and let's schedule some time with you and your first-hand reports and figure out when it makes sense to do this.
I'm concerned about the life cycle of this product and our ability to upgrade to future technologies.
Joe, you sound like you may have been burned by some blade technologies from other vendors in the past. If you'll remember the history of IBM, we introduced blades in 2002, and that chassis that we created in 2002 is still supported today all the way out through 2015. So we have a good history of being able to support technologies for 10 plus years. We did realize, of course, that there was a limitation in terms of the power envelope and some of the technologies that we could support in the blade chassis that's available today. And so we decided we had to design a new technology that could support our clients for 10 years plus out into the future. So we designed the new chassis with support for both fiber channel and Ethernet, for FCOE, for SCSI, for SAS, and for InfiniBand. And we didn't just do for technologies that are leading edge today. We have support for technologies that are going to be leading edge in the future. We can support 16 gig fiber channel, and we can support 56 gig InfiniBand. For example, you can start with your 1 gig infrastructure today and upgrade all the way to 40 gig in the future without ever having to remove any switches from the environment.
40, that is actually something that we're looking at, and I think it's going to happen faster than I thought. 10 years is good. That's the time frame that I need.
Sure, some of this information is under non-disclosure agreement, but we can definitely schedule some time with you to go through the roadmap, at least through the next 3 or 4 years with some very good certainty.
I want to do that.
Let's look at the calendars.
I'll give you that PureFlex sounds compelling, but we've decided that we're going to try and leverage some of our IT resources more, keep our infrastructure around here more to cut costs. So I'm sorry, but I don't need your integrated hardware, software, networking, storage solution anymore.
Well, Joe, you're not alone, right? We walk into a lot of clients where there's some form of existing infrastructure, right? And it's not at a point where it's ready to be refreshed, and we want to continue to get some value out of some of that investment that we've made. So all the components that build PureFlex, while we agree that PureFlex is a very nice integrated solution and gets you up and running quickly, all those components are available in a build-to-order model as well, where you can pick and choose pieces of that solution to fit into your environment, and you can still get our best-of-breed technologies while leveraging some of the existing infrastructure you've got. Then, when that existing infrastructure is at a point where it's ready to be refreshed, we can start moving in other components of the PureFlex system into it to rebuild that fully integrated solution for you.
Can you tell me more about that in terms of storage specifically?
Sure. We can support lots of different storage from plenty of different vendors. Your EMC storage today, your NetApp storage today, your Hitachi storage. Depending on the protocol, we support all of that with the right switch environment to plug into it. And if you want, you can use our V7000 controller, just the controller, to do virtualization of your existing storage environment. So you can not buy any disk from us other than a few drives to do our easy tiering technology and leverage all that spinning media that you've already got. And then as that spinning media gets old enough that you want to refresh it, you can either buy more of that same existing vendor, or you can buy more IBM storage, or you can buy a third-party storage, and you can still continue to manage it and virtualize it all through our storage device.
Okay, now let me play that back. You said V7000, right?
Correct.
Okay, so there's an example where it's part of your integrated package, but it can also help me in terms of pulling together some of my existing capabilities, right?
That's correct.
That's a good example.
That's correct. So you can use our V7000 storage either as its own storage device, and or basically a virtualization gateway to your other existing storage inside the environment.
And or is good. Okay?
It's all about choice.
It's all about choice. We are concerned about having operations and data all in one system here. Talk to me about security.
Well, Joe, IBM PureFlex incorporates some of the most advanced security features IBM has developed, and it's all managed through a single point of control. Security features like intrusion detection across the hardware and the OS advanced protection against denial of service attacks, and isolation management allow you to quarantine a suspect system and reroute the workloads until the threat is resolved.
Got it. Hey now, it's dangerous to be tying my solution to a single vendor.
Well, you know, integrated solutions are not a new concept. Right? IBM developed the mainframe a very long time ago, and you're probably familiar with the AS400 as well. Both of these are integrated solutions from a single vendor. Right? What's new about the marketplace today is that we're trying to get integrated solutions in an open systems world. And what that means is that in most cases, you're tying multiple vendors together to try to create an integrated solution. I would argue that it's safer to get your integrated solution from a single vendor who's strategically positioned to provide all of those components, because when you have multiple vendors that are creating your integrated solution, on day 0 it may be a very good reference architecture. But on day 150 or 365, when one of the vendors that makes up this coupled integrated solution decides that they want to add a new feature or change their allegiance, who owns the roadmap of integrating that solution anymore? Now that becomes you that owns the roadmap. And that's exactly what you do with your non-integrated solutions today. So if you're looking for an integrated solution, I would argue that you're better off being with a vendor that can provide you the systems, the networking, the storage, the services, the financials, right? All of it under one umbrella, especially from a company like IBM, who has been around for over 100 years and will definitely be here in the future.
All right. You've got a good point there. That's a fair argument. But what happens if IBM doesn't support the applications I want to run?
So IBM has an ISV program with over 150 companies today that are optimizing their solutions to run on the IBM PureFlex environment. If your solution that you're looking at today doesn't already show up in the ISV program,
right,
you can use our virtual appliance factory at no cost at all, and we'll work with your ISVs to get them certified and optimized to run on PureFlex.
That makes sense. And frankly, I think it sounds a little better than what I'm hearing from some of your competition right now.